Yeah, Steve and Lauren, this case obviously, or lawsuit I should say, filed just 2 weeks after Justice Allison Riggs had her victory certified here for the Supreme Court case in North Carolina. That back and forth with Jefferson Griffin dragging on for several months. And tonight we spoke with a local county Board of Elections member who said that he doesn't buy the claims that are in this lawsuit that there are widespread inaccuracies in North Carolina's voter rolls.
The problem is people vote. People run elections, and people do what people do, is they make mistakes.
Greg Flynn is a Democrat on the Wake County Board of Elections who previously served 3 years as chair.
I believe a lot of the data is there. It just doesn't manifest itself instantly because, like I said, people vote and they don't always fit in the nice little rectangular parts of a database.
We spoke with Greg Tuesday night, hours after this federal lawsuit was filed by the Department of Justice against North Carolina and the State Board of Elections. In it, the DOJ alleges a significant number of North Carolina voters did not provide a driver's license number or the last 4 digits of a social security number using that voter registration form were nonetheless registered by their election officials in violation of HAVA. That's the Help America Vote Act passed in 2002 to reinforce election administration standards. But Greg believes the suit doesn't factor in the nuance that goes into voter registration, including human error and information changing over the years.
What this suit is trying to do is say that, oh, because everything isn't perfect, there's something illegal going. It's not. It's because it's human beings who are filling out forms and human beings who are collecting them.
For example, Greg says people who register in a voting drive may not be subjected to rigorous verification when registering, even if they need to validate information when voting. He says that's because anyone can volunteer to register voters, and those volunteers often aren't versed in the minutiae of state law. He says the Voting Rights Act of 1964 makes it clear voters cannot be prevented from voting for errors or omissions on their registration, provided they meet the requirements to vote in the first place.
That human part of voter registration doesn't get subjected to federal law. And just because that information is inaccurate doesn't mean that a voter is prevented from voting.
In response to the lawsuit, newly appointed Republican Executive Director of the State Board of Elections, Sam Hayes, said, quote, "We are still reviewing the complaint, but the failure to collect the information required by HAVA has been well documented. Rest assured that I am committed to bringing North Carolina into compliance with federal law." And Greg says he believes that this suit is trying to kind of take aim at the similar gray area in North Carolina's voter registration procedure that Jefferson Griffin's team was also trying to leverage, and that given the potential conflict with the Voting Rights Act, it could lead to an interesting legal showdown, one we'll be staying on top of. Steve, Lauren?